In 1954, St. Louis opened Pruitt-Igoe, 33 11-story buildings on the north side. They were created as a receptacle for black residents displaced by urban renewal projects. The new facilities inspired hope in residents dreaming of a future different than their past. 2 decades later, it would be demolished and its residents again relocated. In the archive, we encounter undocumented hopes and deferred dreams. Films, reports, and images cast shadows as we enter from the future. By what means can we begin to repair in its darkness?
These developments are run by the St. Louis Housing Authority. This is a far cry from the crowded, collapsing tenements that many of these people have known. Here in bright new buildings with spacious grounds, they can live.
Let me tell you about Billy. Billy is a wonderful boy, and a smart boy tried to do something great. Billy always have been good. Understand, you have to understand his ways. He's just like his mom.
I want to come back as I give faith, thanks, and grace to the place in which I live. And say, this is where I used to live. I used to be the same way you. I fought my way all the way up to the top. Why can't you? You can do the same thing. That's what I want to say. The smaller kids, to start early.
In 1963, the U.S. Army began field tests of radiological weapons in Pruitt-Igoe. Over 1 ton of aerosolized fog was dispersed from surrounding rooftops and radio towers. Much of the material pertaining to testing in Pruitt-Igoe remains classified. The Army claimed to be testing zinc-cadmium sulfide, a chemical believed to only be toxic in large doses. But a survey of baby teeth taken from the mouths of St. Louis children between 1961 and 1970 showed increased rates of the radioactive chemical strontium-90 beginning in 1963. The baby tooth survey data is generally credited with leading President John F. Kennedy to sign an international treaty banning atmospheric testing of nuclear weapons. But testing continued in Pruitt-Igoe unabated. The lives of Pruitt-Igoe residents reduced to spectacle and experiment. In the 1970s, organizers in St. Louis demanded the end of police shootings and the end of the use of hollow point bullets on citizens. The hollow point bullet, named because of its hollow tip, is used to cause maximum lethality in its victim. Upon penetrating the skin, the tip deforms and expands around itself, ripping away muscle, bone, and tissue. The use of hollow point bullets was forbidden in the U.S. Army in a treaty signed at The Hague in 1907.
show you how a person might look at you. I was at the hospital. Pruitt-Igoe had been down for a couple of 10 years maybe or so. And me living out of town in Oklahoma, I missed seeing a lot of people back home in St. Louis. So as I was at the hospital with my mother, and I was sitting there waiting on my mother, and this girl that I knew very well, couldn't call her name, come walking out the hospital hall. She went out the door and went down the steps. And I'm saying to myself, I know her. I know her from the project. I got up out of my seat and was going to the door, and she was turning around on the steps, coming back up to come and greet me again. And we just hugged each other and greeted each other, everything like we was brothers and sisters and stuff. But guess what? In the project, that girl wouldn't say nothing to me, and I couldn't say nothing to her because we was just living in different parts of the project. Yeah, that made us don't even like each other. Although when the project broke down, the true love that only Jesus Christ can bring came straight out of both of us. So we was hating each other for no reason. You know, living in the same cave, hating each other for no reason.
Who will pay reparations on my soul? Many suggestions and documents written